control circuit when the breaker is in the off condition. Okay, for that in this diagram you will see that this box here shows the relay panel or the control panel, and this box here shows the circuit breaker diagram. Okay, now the we have for the example here we have used a 22 kV CGL circuit breaker. Okay, so and this blue color circuit shows the closing circuit, and this red color circuit it shows the tripping circuit. So now as the breaker is in the off condition, so positive can be extended to the closing coil, but positive cannot be extended to the tripping coil, because the breaker is already in the off condition. And so hence in the auxiliary contact they have used a closing contact for the closing circuit and an open contact for the tripping circuit, so that the positive cannot be extended. Okay, now we'll see how the operation of the closing circuit is. Okay, in the closing circuit, this is the positive that is coming to the battery source J1. After the fuse it becomes K1, then it is extended to the local remote switch. When the switch is in the remote position, switch is kept on the remote position, then the closing positive is extended through the control room TNC switch. Okay, now when the TNC switch is kept on the closing position, then the positive will be extended further in this way, in this direction, then it goes through to the closing coil. Okay, now when the breaker is in the remote, when the breaker is in the local position, then the closing positive will be extended to the TNC switch, which is present in the, here you can see, this is the TNC switch which is present in the circuit breaker. Okay, and we will see further after this what contacts are used. Then this is the closing contact of the anti-pumping relay. Now the anti-pumping relay and the NC contact, when the positive is extended to the anti-pumping relay, it opens this NC contact, so that when the continuous closing pulse is given, the continuous closing pulse cannot be extended to the closing coil, and thereby it prevents the closing coil from getting damaged. Okay, then we use in the closing circuit we also use a spring charge limit switch contact, so that the closing positive can be extended only when the spring is charged. Okay, after that we use a close contact of the auxiliary switch. Now this is the auxiliary switch. Now what is the auxiliary switch does? Auxiliary switch is physically connected to the it is a rotary switch which is physically connected to the main power contacts of the breaker. As the main power contacts of the breaker open and close, this rotary switch it rotates, and the close contact becomes open and the open contacts become closed. So in the off condition we have used a close contact, so that the positive can be extended to the closing coil, and as the breaker gets closed, this contact gets open, so that the current flowing through the closing circuit stops, and so thereby preventing the closing coil from getting damaged. After that they have used a closing resistance here. Then this is the closing coil to which the positive is extended when the command is given locally or remotely, and continuous negative is given to the closing coil. Okay, so as the command is given to the closing coil, it gets energized, thereby it operates the closing mechanism. Okay, and this is this red is the tripping circuit, and tripping circuit. Okay, and the tripping circuit operation will it can be more we will be explaining in the when the breaker is in the closed condition. Okay, so in the tripping circuit we can see that an NO contact is used of the auxiliary contact, and close contact is used to monitor the healthiness of the of the tripping circuit. Okay, this is the TCS relay. This is the TCS relay, and in the TCS relay a positive is given to the 95A. This 95A is called as the post-close TCS relay. This 95B is called as the pre-close TCS relay, and this 95C is the TCS relay which gives an indication to the annunciator circuit. The NO contacts of these two relays are connected in parallel, and they are connected to this 95C relay, positive of this 95C relay, and to negative of the 95C relay, a continuous negative is given to the 95C relay. Okay, so at least one of these two relay have to be in the operated condition for the circuit to be healthy. If one of these two relay if both these relay are not in the operated condition, then the circuit will be faulty. Now see, this is the pre-close condition, and so current is flowing through this NC contact in the auxiliary switch and through this tripping circuit in this manner. Okay, you see, you can see the current is flowing through this positive of this positive, then through this 95A, 95B, so both of these are operated, and then to the 52B auxiliary switch, then to this closing tripping resistance, then tripping coil, and in this way to the battery again. So both these relays are operated, and as both these relays are operated, this 95C is operated, and so no fault alarm indication is given to the annunciator circuit. Okay, now if this tripping coil is open, now if there is any fault, say in the tripping circuit, say this tripping coil is open, the current won't be flowing through these two relays, and so both these relays won't be operated. As both these relays are not operated, this 95C is not operated, and as it is a reverse flag relay, in the non-operated condition, it will give a signal to the annunciator circuit that the tripping circuit is faulty. Okay, so this is the operation of the pre-close TCS relay we have seen, and thank you very much. In the next lecture, we will be seeing the breaker control circuit when the breaker is in closed condition. Okay, thank you very much.